welcome back to my channel today. Today I have a bit of a different video. I have the top 10 baby names I will not be using. I just want to put a disclaimer out in case my family are watching this. We aren't planning on having any more children. I'm just joining in with the little tag name video going about, so no one have a fit. We're not having another baby. Start for the boys. I love the name Albert. I just love the name Albert. There's a rude, I don't know if everyone know it, but there's a rude word about a man's, you know what, and that put me off that name, so that's the reason I won't use that name, but I do love the name. The second name comes from Albert, and that is Albie, but I can't use that, as where I live in Norfolk there's a taxi firm called Albie's Taxis, so I can't really use it, and because he'll be just have the mick taken out of him being named after a taxi. The third name is Jacob. The only reason we haven't used that is because my cousin is called Jake, who we see quite a lot, and I know he'll be watching this. Hi Jake. And that'd be a bit confusing, but I love the name Jacob. This isn't in my list, but when I was little we used to watch the Muppets Christmas Carol, and that used to be Jacob and Marley. Stanley was nearly called Marley as well, but that reminded me of Marley and me. But anyway, I just always loved the name Jacob, but obviously I can't use that. And number 4 is Arthur. The reason we couldn't use Arthur was because our last name is Paul, so he'd be called Arthur Paul, Arthur Paul. You know what I mean? That is a name ready for a child to be picked on, isn't it? Last but not least for boys is the name Freddie. If Grace was a boy, she'd have been called Freddie. But if you're a Harry Potter fan, the twins were called George and Freddie. So they would have had George and Freddie, Harry Potter stuck to them for the rest of their lives. So I love Freddie, but we wouldn't be able to use it. But Grace, if she was a boy, would have been called it. I didn't realise till after, so I'm glad I noticed. Girls' names I like are Isabella. We couldn't really have Isabella because that would have been Isabella Pole. That's a lot of L's going on. But I like Isabella as well. It's a lovely name. I think that's a bit of a mouthful and a lot of L's. The next name is Sophia. We can't use Sophia as Dave's cousin's little girl's called Sophia. It's such a pretty name. I like Sophia and Sophie as well. But it's such a pretty name that we wouldn't be able to use that. But the next name that we like is Mavis. I like Mavis, but I do think that's very out there and very old traditional type name. But also I think that's going to get popular as Hotel Transylvania. The girl's called Mavis and that. But I really do like that name. My next girl name is Nora. I love the name Nora, but there's a saying around here that is bloody Nora, and that's what I would just call it all the time, bloody Nora. So that's the reason why we can't use that one. And our last name, girl's name, is May, which is my middle name, my nanny's middle name, and Grace's middle name. But if the child was called May with our last name Pole, it should be Maypole, as in what you dance around, and that isn't fair on no child whatsoever. You can see we quite like traditional, older, vintage, retro-y names, so it might not be everyone's taste, hence why we got a child called Stanley, which everyone hated in our family. No, I don't like that name, but he's a Stanley. You look like a Stanley, he is a Stanley. I just love that name. Oh, I do have a little sneaky extra boy's name. I do like the name Fletcher. I love the name Fletcher, but because we've got Stanley, if anyone's a fan of Porridge from years ago, he was called, Stanley, I can't remember what his name was. Something Stanley Fletcher, so we couldn't use that either, because I'll just think of that. But now, I can't think what the name is, I'm going to have to think of it. But anyway, thank you for watching this little tag video. Keep a lookout for our videos daily. They're mix and match of vlogs, talking, etc, etc. But thank you for watching, and we will see you again. Bye.